I don't know what Stig was doing in the intro, but I guess that means it's going to be a good race. We have Stig on our side, so nothing can go wrong. This is just a simple race against the AI and S1 or A class, I forgot whatever it is. And of course, the AI have no idea what they're doing. Everyone's just ass packing each other for the fun of it. No one here can drive. I thought if I cranked the AI all the way up, dang, what? I thought if I cranked the AI all the way up, they would maybe get good at the game, but nope. They've got more stupider as I smash it back into them and pop a drift around the corner. They have only got stupider apparently, so that's nice to know as I pop a little drift again. They said racing was a non-contact sport. I find that very hard to believe. As we come down to whatever section of the track this is, I think I remember this section of the track as more ass packing happens in front of me. It's amazing how if I turn simulation damage on, no one would make it past lap 1. I guarantee it. No one would make it past lap 1 just for the amount of ass packing that's happening. As we send it up to the inside. And of course, third gear just decides to turn me into an FD car. I saw Super GT's video. Apparently he used this car and it was decent. Thought maybe if I used it, wouldn't be half bad, but how wrong I was. As it does get some understeer here and there, but biggest problem I have with it is second and third gear, how they just love to spin in the lower RPMs. But on the straights, this thing is not slow, and I like how it can handle high-speed corners very easily, as we see right here. I barely brake, just slide it into the corner, and I stay on track. I wouldn't even have gotten a penalty if this was GT Sport, but I don't know. That's up to the people that watch this channel, which is probably a bunch of bots. As we pass a Lamborghini on the side, he's just retired from the race. He doesn't want any more of this. And I try to get into the draft of the Porsche in front of me. I don't know all the rules about it, but I know the draft is hella strong in this game. Now we come down, we brake a little bit too much. Probably should have shifted down to fourth. But we run a little bit wide. Thank you for the extra AstroTurf on the side there. We're catching up to the McLaren in front of me. I'm going to leave it in fourth gear around this section. It helps prevent wheel spin even though it's a little bit slower. And most of this section, you're mostly just trying to keep the car from turning into Takumi from Initial D. And I think we actually lost time by doing that, but hopefully we'll gain it in the next sector as they're all grouped together, and they're all off the track. All of them. They've all committed Kermit's side. None of them know how to drive. Apparently, I'm better at this game than anyone else. But of course, it's AI. If the players aren't even good at it, don't expect the AI to either. No, I actually, Super GT and Basic Ollie, they explained a few stuff. You should probably go subscribe to them. Explain some racing techniques, or it's just fun to watch them. Sometimes I get to watch Ollie just sit there contemplating about how he's about to win. And then Super GT being very sarcastic sometimes, which is just funny in general, as we run a bit wider than I'd like to in this corner. But as you can just see, once we get the straights going, it's really hard for them to catch on me if they're not in my draft. Like, he immediately starts losing time to me. I run a bit in the grass, thinking I can go a little bit wide. And I completely sent it into that turn and somehow made it. Now, this is the scariest turn of them all. I really don't like this turn. It just feels like I know when I should brake, but as you're braking, you come up to the turn, and it's like, are you sure I should brake here? Because I feel like I'm about to go straight into that barrier. But in the end, it works out fine. You just have to know when to release the brakes at the correct time and stuff. Very simple stuff. We've cut 7 seconds off our time. We ran a little bit deep. But overall, once you get used to this car, it's actually not that bad. You leave it in 4th gear through this entire section, and it's actually pretty decent. Who knows, maybe we'll get the fastest lap, hopefully. Or the AI may just decide to turn into Vin Diesel on the final lap, #family, and just take over everybody. The new Fast and the Furious will just be them riding other cars now, as we pop another drift somehow and keep it going straight. And another drift. This car is just really back end happy. I don't know why, but for some reason these low speed corner exits, the back end gets so happy. And at the end of the day, it has less than 500 horsepower, this tune. I downloaded, I think it's dev spec all or something, but I always just download dev spec since it's one of the best tunes that I've tried, and it's always for basically every car here. And I think we've lost a lot of time because of how many drifts I've pulled. You know, sometimes I get the urge to slide. Again, just right here, I completely forgot that was a corner and ran it wide. Well, we're going to try to get some time back. We cut off for 1 second from our best lap here, which is good, I guess. But someone's getting close behind us. Never mind, 6th gear just completely annihilated them. We could have ran a little bit harder through that corner, but you know, it's alright. Now braking here is very scary because, as you can see, that's what I mean. I literally came within inches of death. According to Super GT, it is not good to die of death. Dying of death will be very bad for you in general. So in my best interest, I will not die of death. Famous words, Super GT 2021. As we pop another little drift, I don't know why, but as I said before, the back end of this car just gets so happy. And of course, if you want to be competitive in this game, I really don't recommend running with traction control and stuff, because it doesn't really help, especially ABS. I tried ABS in this game once and it was just horrible. Honestly, just don't run any assist. Like, maybe the only time I run assist like traction control is at the F1 car in this game. You physically cannot play the F1 car in this game without traction control on. Stability control isn't really needed for any of these cars, but majority of the people just use this game to drift now, so I don't imagine anyone coming in with, you know, full on assist. I also do recommend changing your own gears with the clutch. The clutch does help. I've got so many people that just use automatic. Now the people in front of me are just making a big gap. I don't know how. I'm pushing this car as hard as I can, but apparently that's not hard enough as we run it a little bit wide. Just trying to bang out the time here. Can we close in the gap? We have one more lap after this. We shaved off a little bit under a second. I kind of saw a few pixels at the end of the straight. We're going to come so close. Come on. We got this. How hard can it be? It can't be that hard. Come on. As we come down the scary chicane. Why is there sad music playing? Oh. Oh, that's why. That's why there's sad music playing. Oh. Subscribe to help my pain, please. Please.